Let's solve the quadratic equation 2x squared minus 9x equals -9. Okay, there are multiple ways to solve quadratic equations. I'm going to focus on factoring with this example. Okay, if I'm going to use factoring to solve the quadratic, I need to get the entire thing set equal to 0. So I need to add 9 to both sides. Be careful not to add together -9x and 9, right? They're not like terms, so I can't put those together. Okay, and -9 plus 9 is 0. Okay, so now let me factor it. Okay, I'm going to use the AC method. So maybe you remember the AC method. You take A, or the first number, and C, the last number on the left side, and you multiply them together. 2 times 9 is 18. So I need two numbers that when they multiply together, they equal 18, but when I add them together, they equal the middle number here, -9. So they add together to be -9. Okay, so I start thinking through numbers that multiply to be equal to 18, such as 2 and -2 and -9. That multiplies together to be a positive 18, but if I add them together, they equal a -11, so that's not good. How about -3 times -6? Well, that multiplies together to be a positive 18, and they add together to be -9. So -3 and -6 are the numbers that I need to use here. So I will use those two numbers to break the middle -9x into two terms. In other words, if I were to combine these like terms, I should get -9x back. If I don't, I did something wrong. Okay, let's group together the first two and the last two terms. And then look for a common factor. 2x squared minus 3x. They both have an x multiplied inside of their expression, so I can factor out a common x and then answer the question, x times what would give me 2x squared? That would be 2x. X times what would give me -3x? Well, that would be -3. Okay, on the right set of parentheses, we have -6x plus 9. Well, since this first term right here is negative, make sure you factor out a minus sign here. And 6 and 9 are both divisible by 3, so I'll factor out a -3. Now, -3 times what would give me -6x? 2x. -3 times what would give me 9? It's -3. Okay, notice these two sets of parentheses match each other. Okay, they're supposed to. That means you're doing everything correctly. So 2x minus 3 is now a common factor, so I'll write it one time. And what's hanging out on the outside here is x minus 3. I'll put that in the blank here, x minus 3. So 2x minus 3 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. Set both of these individually equal to 0. And then solve them both. Add 3 to both sides on the first equation. 0 plus 3 is 3. Divide both sides by 2. 3 over 2 is 3 over 2. So there's my first solution. Okay, the next one, add 3 to both sides. 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so there we go. I used factoring, specifically the AC method, to find the two solutions.